Hello everyone, this is Chase here. Might also know me as BLJ into your heart. And what I'm going to show you in this video is a semi-consistent setup for doing hyperspeed flying in castle grounds. Now, so I'm using a practice ROM right here, the Yusamune practice ROM, and I am using save states. But theoretically, this can be done fully as a human and somewhat consistently. I just use the save states to get rid of dead time, having to do the setup again because it's annoying. And I cut all the failed attempts out of the video because that's boring and no one wants to watch that. So I'm just starting in the castle lobby right here because I want to do a, I have the inputs down here. So if you want to recreate a task movie, you can do that. I start in the lobby so that you can have a consistent starting point. So right now I'm just going to go on the castle and get the wing cap. Of course, if you want hyperspeed flying, you gotta be able to fly. Yeah. I'm doing the little trick there because I think I'm cool. Since I'm even cooler, I do a speed kick that wasn't even a speed kick. It was off by 1 frame. So, what I'm going to do, get down here. Like, actually, it's going to be 1 failed attempt. This is going to be a little primer. Since I screwed up the save states here, I couldn't cut this out easily. So, you get to see a general overview of what we're going to do. So I'll let you watch first. Okay, so you don't have to do that first seat wall kick. That I messed it up, specifically the angle. I messed it up, and I decided to just screw around. So you can see right there, overview is we're going to do a BLJ, gain some backward speed. We're going to do a C-up slide to go up the slope, which will hit out of bounds and negate our speed from negative to positive speed. We'll then break away from the slope, enter a double jump state, which will allow us to enter a flying state. That's your overview. So, see right there I messed up the save state because I'm so good. Just gonna dick around even more, of course. Okay, so right here. So this is the alignment right here. So you want to start off, you want to be aligned facing forward between this tree and the corner where these two slope triangles meet. So between here, right in the middle, that's where you want to have Mario face. Now you can do this without being zoomed in camera, but the camera sucks. If you try to go normal, like do C up right here, the camera is going to be really shitty. So I like to do it from zoomed out. But it does add 1 extra step. So when we get here, what we're going to do is turn around and begin BLJing. So the amount of speed we want, I like to target around 300 speed. So it doesn't have to be super precise. You can do 280 speed, 320 speed. You want to target around 300. And I found the best way, because right here, I'm using the practice ROM. That allows me to see my speed right here. Of course, if you're on a vanilla game, you're not going to be able to see your speed. I like to do around 6 to 8 BLJs. That's typically enough. 6 to 8 BLJs should do it. So, we're going to do 6 to 8 BLJs. But before we actually start long jumping, zoom in right there. This is important. We need to enter a C-up slide state. And we need to do it with high precision and quickly. If we're zoomed out, we have to hit C-up twice in order to enter a C-up slide state. And that's really shitty because that adds a lot of delay and bullshit. So we don't want that. So right here is I think the best way or place to do this. Zoom in right here because we maintain our angle. As long as we're holding directly up on the stick, or really holding any direction, but directly up, we'll maintain our angle. Because the camera isn't going to move around for camera reasons. As long as you're holding a direction on the stick, the camera isn't going to move around a bunch. But if we have to hold directly up right here for the BLJ. And that'll maintain our angle while allowing us to hit C-up only once. And that allows instantaneous C-up slide. So, we're going to go and do BLJs. 6 to 8, targeting around 300 speed. And during this whole time, this is important, hold directly up on the stick, because we're trying to BLJ right here. We need that direction, and we want to slide up here, because we're trying to hit that slope. We need to move backwards so that we can turn towards it and get the correct angle. So you can actually see down here on my input display, I'm already starting the next part. So right here, I'm holding directly up. Right around here, when Mario's exiting that long jump landing state, we want to hold directly down right. Down right as far as it'll go. We want to hold that. That'll allow Mario to start turning as fast as he can and set us up for the correct angle to get onto the slope. So we're going to do that. Notice right here, we start entering a backwards walking state. We're going to start rotating like this and set the correct angle. Now at this point, we're trying to hit this slope at a slight angle. So imagine this is the slope right up here. We want to go an angle slightly like this. This will allow us to slide at the slope without bonking on out of bounds. That's important because we do want to bonk on out of bounds. We need to get to the top of the slope so we can break away from it. So I'll show you. So right around here, we hit C up. Like that. So now we have the correct angle and position. And we're in a C up state. At this point, during the C up slide, you don't have to hold a direction on the analog stick, because you'll maintain your speed. So notice we have about negative 300 speed, and we're heading at a slight angle, not directly head on, but a slight angle. And notice the triangles we're going for as well. It might be a bit hard to see because I'm capturing this on a real N64, not an emulator. But right here, we have a slightly less steep slope. So right here is extremely steep. If we hit this directly head on, we're just going to either stop dead in our tracks, or we're going to bonk on out of bounds and reflect off that. And we're not going to have a chance to break away and get in a free fall state. So we also have the angle to protect us from bonking up here. So we're going to slide backwards at a slight angle. We have this slightly shallower, whatever you call it, less steep slope right here. We're going to slide up this and also begin sliding up this slightly steep part. Now it's even harder to see here, but at the very top around this line right here, there's another triangle that's almost flat. This little triangle right here will allow us to break away from the slope. So instead of sliding back down it, so we're going to bonk off out of bounds here. Instead of sliding back down, the game's not going to have a chance to see us actually, because we're moving so fast. It's not going to see us as sliding down a slope. It's going to see us as leaving the ground and put us in a free fall state. And this is the key to making this trick work. Because once we're in a free fall state with positive speed, we can now do a double jump and lead into a triple jump. So I'll go and show you. So we're heading towards this. Currently we're on the shallow slope, moving up it. Right here we're now on the steep slope. Notice the shadow. We go up here. Now we're at the very top, and we're on the almost flat slope relative to this angle. It's practically flat. Now watch this. Watch the speed. 286. Boom, positive 285. So now we're up here, sliding a C up state with massive positive speed. But again, normally if you just slide back down this slope, you won't be able to control Mario, and you'll just slam into a wall. So what's going to happen, this right here is the most inconsistent part of the trick, by the way. I haven't tested it, but I can reasonably assume that this part right here is quarter step precise. It is bullshit and inconsistent, but for RTA, there's not really any better that you can do as far as I'm aware. So you just have to deal with the luck. So right here, watch this. So currently we're on the slope. We're going to take one more step. Look at that. We are now above the slope, but we haven't snapped down to it. The next frame, we're going to be put into a free fall state, just like that. So now we have 280 positive speed and a free fall state. This allows us to, now once we hit the ground, we can do a double jump. Now this is also why the angle's important. I'm going to fast forward a little, or advance a little bit. So we have all this speed. Since double jump height is proportional to forward speed, we'll get a massive double jump. In fact, this double jump, you've probably seen it in TASes. It allows us to jump directly onto the castle from here because our speed is so high. And also notice with this angle, instead of hitting like the peach stained glass right here or the wall, we'll actually end up getting onto the roof. That'll allow us to do a triple jump. Also, this double jump you do here, you want to try to do it first frame. The more frames you're on the ground, the more speed you're going to lose. So I don't actually do it frame perfectly here. I think I do it second frame. And you can tell because I lost a considerable amount of speed here. I went from 279 to 223. But it's okay. Here we make onto the castle. So notice I managed to do it barely. Barely clip it, as you can see here. But I still did it. So now we're on top of that castle in a double jump state with high speed. If we just do a triple jump right here, we'll do the triple jump, but then since our speed is so high, we're just going to move forward and immediately hit the floor again. So here, you just mash A. That's all I can say is mash A. That'll do a ton of triple jumps back to back. And once you break away from the slope, over this little crest, you'll enter a flying state. So I'll show you this. Watch my inputs down here. I'm just mashing A. And just like that, we're now hyperspeed flying. I'll go and show you again, so you can see at real-time speed what this looks like. Just like that. Again, I'm still working on setups myself. I'm trying to figure out the most consistent and human viable way of doing this trick, because I think this is some of the most fun you can have in castle grounds right here, doing hyperspeed flying around the castle. This is insanely fun, and it's also, if you want to impress girls at your school, this is how you do it. Ask them, have you ever met a guy who can do hyperspeed flying in Mario 64? Chances are, you'll be the first guy she's talked to who can do that, and that'll really impress her. That's all I have to say for this. Thanks for watching.